Well, here we are, Saturday morning at 7:25. There is my ferry, the Spirit of Tasmania. Feeling a little fragile because the hostel's got a bar directly underneath it, which is awesome. And I managed to get a $30 bar tab last night from the owner, and then somebody else bought me a drink. So I had, after what I'd already bought, I had like five or six Jameson and Cokes, and then decided at 12 o'clock I better go to bed because I'm up at 6.5 hours, which I know is not bad, but I just didn't want to be hanging. I've got a hostel booked when I get there because the boat gets in at 6:30, and I didn't think it was sensible to ride in the dark for about an hour to get to a free campsite. It's just not a good idea to ride in the dark in Australia, really. So go through quarantine to get in. And then they give you this little thing, obviously. I think they do that in France as well, or to go to France. And of course, trying to strap that to the bike just wants to fly away if you go too fast, so. Oh. See? Falls off. Stupid. Here we go. Slippery metal, that's lovely to ride on. Where do you want me? Yeah. Here I am in Tassie, on a boat still. Starting to offload the stuff, which is pretty good. It's a very long old ferry trip. Like, it's what, 6:30 now? Can I go? I'd like to go. There wasn't much to see out the windows because there was a load of like condensation and dirt and all sorts of stuff all over it, all over the window, so you couldn't really see much. Sod it, I'm going. Making the decision. I hate this like grated surface. It's like really weird. It like pushes your tyre about. I just whinge every time I get off the ferry. Right, Tasmania, how hot, how cold are you? 18. I reckon I'll be alright. I always worry about camping, but if it's 18, it's alright. My neutral light's come back, so now that's just on permanently. Got a lightsaber. I want a lightsaber. Oh. Well, that was a tough quarantine questioning, wasn't it? That's me off the boat. This is now me in Tasmania, day one of the adventure. Looking forward to it. Although my first thing I'm doing is actually going to get some food and some lunches and stuff, so tomorrow morning I can get up and hit the road, get back into the swing of it, see what Tasmania is all about. Good morning, Tasmania, and goodbye, Devonport. I'm leaving Devonport now and going to be hitting the west coast. 110 kilometres an hour. What a beautiful speed. First time I've seen that in probably 2 years. Oh. There's a reason why I upped the sprocket on the bike to cope with the high speed limits. So the question will be what my fuel economy is like now. I'm at 110, but should be good. Had my egg McMuffin this morning, and it's nice and sunny. Not massively warm, but it's not cold either. About 12 degrees or something like that. And I'm off to see a big penguin, not a real one. It's a place called Penguin, and they have a giant penguin. So. One giant penguin dressed in like army gear for some reason. It's pretty tall. I'll go stand next to it. Like, it is pretty big. The sun's in the wrong way to me to sort of show you that way, so I'll spin that way for the bike. So yeah, it's nice. I'll show you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Penguin, it's there. Rocky Cape National Park, and if you spin around slightly, you can see all the hills and stuff's really cool. It's odd weather at the moment. I don't know whether I'm hot or cold, but if I'm going slowly I'm really hot, and if I go fast I'm really cold. Well, not really cold, but cold enough to put my liners in. I can't walk on these rocks and keep the camera still. Yeah, so there's a nice lighthouse here at the top. It's a very small national park by the looks of it. It just has like kind of lighthouse, a few walks. It's only really a little strip across the top of one little section of Tasmania. So I just thought I'd pop in as I've got my pass. Not that I've had to be showed it or anything unless I've missed something. So yeah, pretty nice. Bit of gravel on the way in. And a nice lighthouse. I think I'm just going to ride back out again now and carry on. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to stay tonight because there's reports of, well, some of the campsites are quite strong with strong winds. I'd rather not that if I can help it. And then also the campsites that I was looking at are all like $13 each. So if I can get a free one, that'd be better. But I don't know whether there is any available. So we're just going to see how far I get today. Although I noticed yesterday it was dark by 6:30, so in New Zealand I was pulling over like sort of 5, setting up camp and mucking around, and you know it wouldn't get dark till like 7, 8 o'clock. But if it gets dark at 6, I'm gonna have to stop at like at least 4 latest, really, just to give myself plenty of time to pitch the tent and make some food and chill out. Not make it a rush, you know. Enjoy the rest of the sun while it's out, if I can get a nice sunny spot. So yeah, nice and quiet. Off we go, let's make some noise. And that is a nut. Well, it's called the nut, apparently. And it's just a big rock. It sort of slopes on this side and then kind of goes along and then just drops straight off on the other side. But it's a nice little sort of town round it. Seaside town, she didn't even look. With a nice beach. I'll show you the beach in just a second. And then round the corner here is a section that's like really, really old school. I was saying in New Zealand how that there's like all these places where there's just like kind of really sort of almost 1800s sort of like houses. I'm crap at history, so someone can correct me with that. But yeah, there's the nice beach playing area. Looks pretty cool. I'm sure in the summer that's packed-ish. Anyway, round this corner is all the old school buildings. They're well maintained, but just look at this. It's all like really old, or old style anyway. Kind of cool. cowboys and Indians sort of, although not American. The size of that. It's like a car. Anyway, wanted to come and see the nut. Still see it up there. So yeah, time to head out of this and make my way towards the, I believe it's probably the highest point in Tasmania, not elevation wise but just on the map, so it's the most northerly point, probably the correct way of saying it. And I'm going to go there and then leave there and then start heading down the west coast. And it's the first time I'm pitching my new tent, because of course that's the way you're supposed to do it. Buy a tent and just throw it in your pannier and don't worry about whether or not how it goes up. I'm going to put the sat nav on because I don't know if I'm going in the right direction, as much as this is a very nice scenic spot. So let's just stop here. You alright, mirrors? Alright? Hi guys and girls. Yep. But we'll just stare at each other and yeah. Okay, carry on. So I'm making my way to the top of Tasmania, like the little bit that flicks off to the right. Stop. What is it? What? Oh, that's the end of it. Private property. So you can't get up there. That means this is the highest point I can get. So now I turn back round and go back and start heading towards a campsite somewhere, which I haven't really. I've got one on the map at the moment, but that's only 40 minutes away and it's only 1:15. So I'll probably just keep going and see how far I get. Hop to campsite, essentially looking at the time, picking one that's appropriate. Oh well, nice little gravel road. It's not massively scenic, although the wind farm over there is pretty cool. But I was hoping to get up to the top and maybe see something, but the weather again is a bit changeable. I had grey skies over me a minute ago, so put my liners in because it was a little chilly on the top half, and then the sun's come out and now I'm kind of borderline not really needing the thermal layers and stuff. As soon as you're not in direct sunlight, like even under some trees like this or under a little bit of cloud, you definitely feel it, so I might just stay with it. It's easier. I'd rather be warm than cold. Ugh, that was hard. Anyway, I will come back when I've probably on the entrance to the campsite, unless anything more interesting comes up. The campsite that I've actually decided that I'm going to stay at. Well, it's been a lovely ride through some really nice twisty forest roads like this, and then I had another a long gravel road as well that was quite cool. That went on for ages, and I was worried about fuel, and then I found some, so I'm hoping to stay here tonight at this campsite, which is just up here. It's only like 3 o'clock, so I've got ages, so there's plenty of time to pitch my tent and figure my life out. This is my new tent, significantly smaller than the other one, and I got the compression sack, so it all folds away a lot smaller. And let's see what I'm going to do. I've got a ground sheet, but I might just use this.
poles, I think I've done it. Well, anyway, it's yeah, not. I think they're going to have a little bummage, but that's all the instructions I've got. So yeah, there it is, all pegged out and done. It's lower profile than my old one, and it's, I don't know whether it's smaller inside. Look, it's got doors either side, right? So rather than one at one end and then nothing outside, it's got two. So it's got one this side, and you've got that sort of space there, and then this is another door here. So if you come in, it's definitely a bit smaller than my old one, I think. But if you were to call this two-person, you'd have to be pretty snug in here. Although it's, you know, you can easily get them in, but you'd be two fairly large people, you would struggle. So yeah, one side there, and then I can have my gear on this side, which means I can get out from either side. So it's kind of handy. You're never too far away from your gear. Admittedly, like my old tent, I'd have to like climb right in to get something that was at the back. With this one, I can just get in from either side and access everywhere, which is pretty good. And then these are two large pockets for stuff either end. But I can easily sit up in this, so that's the important thing. If I get stuck for the day, I can chill out in it. And having two like little sections either side gives me a place to cook on, you know, cook if I need to. Well, a little bit if I'm careful with the heat. But this is pretty cool. So this bit here is a little rain gutter. So even if this is all soaking wet, if I open this tent up, the rain will run down here and channel off rather than dripping inside the tent, which is what my old one did all the time. So yeah, pretty impressed with it. I still need to make it, you know, live with it for a bit, but the reviews have been pretty good, and that's obviously what's driven me to get that one. So let's get some food, I think, or I don't know, chill out for ages. And I do like about Australia, I remember these from last time, is that you've always got the barbecue. So you just push the button and it will heat up and you can cook on there, which would be great if I had anything I could cook on there. I don't, so oh, it's nice and peaceful. So I hope it's not too cold. I don't think it will be. My sleeping bag's good to like -2, and then I've got base layers and stuff, so sweet. Ciao.